What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. You're a returning subscriber as always, guys. Welcome back, and I do appreciate the support. Guys, in fact, let me start by saying this. Happy Friday to everybody, and you know what Friday means. Friday is the normal Storytime live stream tonight. It's the most lit live stream on Friday nights on YouTube out. All these depressing stories I do during the week, this is the exact opposite. I tell a lot of stories about things that happened in my life, stuff with my grandparents who raised me. Everybody gets a kick out of it. If you haven't been there, you might want to check it out. It's extremely funny, and you get to learn a little bit about me outside these videos. But I'm going to talk about some news that just broke recently, and this out of Rush County in Indiana. Now, this young lady up here, who's no longer with us. She's 17-year-old at the time of her demise. Her name is Valerie Tindall. This woman, or this young lady, has been missing since June. There haven't been a lot of suspects. There's only been one person of interest, and it is this man right here, Patrick Scott. He's 58 years old. He's now behind bars, charged with the crime which took her life. Now, what's messed up about this story is, like I said, this girl's been missing for a while. This guy is the next door neighbor, and he's friends of the family and friends with her. So you see where this is going. I'm going to play this video. We're going to come back and talk about it, how the devil was right next door and all that evil was amongst them. But it's still, you know, things still happen the way they did. Could this have been prevented? Take a look at this and we'll come back and talk about it.
We have been working tirelessly on this case since its inception.
She was going to go to college. She was accepted. And now she'll never have a chance.
This is not the outcome we had all hoped for. Justice will be sought for Valerie.
And we start first at 4 with a tragic breaking news update. After 6 months of searching, investigators in Rush County say the search for 17-year-old Valerie Tindall is over following the discovery of a body. Thanks for joining us. I'm Malia Blackburn.
And I'm Nick McGill. Now, we first told you about a renewed search for Valerie yesterday and broke the news of an arrest of her boss who lives nearby late last night. The sheriff's office confirmed it all this afternoon. Now, Fox 39's Russ McQuaid was the only reporter to join the federal search in Arlington yesterday. He joins us live now with new details. Russ.
And good afternoon, Nick. It was just 2 hours ago that the sheriff of Rush County, that would be Alan Rice, briefed us. I pressed him for answers on the investigation into Valerie Tindall's disappearance. You know, she was just 17 years old last summer. She would often go to work doing landscaping with her neighbor and her boss, 58-year-old Patrick Scott. And then it was determined that she disappeared when she was in his company at a Shelbyville apartment complex when he offered to take her to lunch. Got together the day she disappeared. This is a photograph of Valerie Tindall and Patrick Scott, who was 40 years her senior. Tuesday, after Valerie's mom told investigators that a woman in Shelbyville told her she had seen Valerie and Scott together the day she disappeared, FBI agents, state troopers, and Rush County Sheriff's deputies were out at Scott's house, which sits about 100 yards away from where Valerie and her parents lived. A source told me that late Tuesday afternoon, investigators recovered human remains from inside a barrel buried under a pile of rubble from a garage Scott tore down a month after the girl disappeared. And Scott was arrested and charged with murder after he watched investigators search his property, specifically the rubble pile out back where the body was discovered.
Process of it, he was interviewed, and then they were not on site.
And coming up at 5 o'clock, Valerie's mother will tell me about the warnings she tried to give her daughter about this man living next door, 40 years her senior, who seemed to the family just a little too fixated on that girl. In Rushville, Russ McQuaid, Fox 59 News.
Russ, thank you. Now, Russ mentioned that he'd spoken to Valerie's mom about the search and her concerns for her daughter.
And he also talked with her about what kind of girl Valerie was. She described her daughter as always helpful and sweet.
She's a really good person, a sweet kid. She worked hard to get her grades up. She was going to go to college. She was accepted. And now she'll never have a chance.
And you can find more from our interview with Valerie's mother inside Russ's story from Tuesday on fox59.com. There, we have also posted the full news conference from law enforcement. And of course, we'll also have much more throughout the evening.
All right, guys, that's the sad news out of Rush County, Indiana, where Valerie Tindall has been found. Now, I'm going to tell you something. A lot of people out there, they're not saying that this is her, but the remains of a woman has been found on his property. I know it's her, and I don't know why they do this. This guy been locked up. Evidently, they went and found the body. The police went and told the family, hey, we're sorry. So that tells you something right there. You got to be her. But getting that out the way, I'm going to say one more thing. Yesterday, I made a video about the woman in Beaumont, disciplining her son, and it'll be in one of these pop-ups over here. YouTube has contacted me yesterday, and they are not allowing anybody to make comments on that because they said anytime you do videos where it has something to do with the safety of a child, they strike all the comments out of it. So it's not me, it's YouTube that you guys can't comment. I'll invite you guys to comment on anything I do. But let me just get that out. But back to this story, man, and how messed up it is. This guy was a neighbor. He was a friend of the family. She had a mother and a father. This is their only child, supposedly. And he took her from them. This guy was friends of the family, was friends with her. Family said he was a little bit too infatuated with our daughter. I'm going to get to that in a second. But here, this guy got his own business. He could have had any woman he wanted. Well, I don't know any woman he wanted. But I mean, there are options out there. Why you got to go and get a 17-year-old child? I mean, she's still a child. No matter how developed she is or how you remember this child when she was younger growing up. And then all of a sudden you came from admiration, of her being a sweet little girl to all of a sudden lust where you forget of seeing the journey she came up. I don't understand. And I said in all my videos, I don't understand. I mean, from a common sense standpoint and just looking at the world for what it is, I don't understand how men fly off the handle and do stuff like this. Honestly, she went to do some landscaping work with him, right? And this is just me. I'm going to give my opinion. Landscaping, you got a lot of working closely together, a lot of bending over, a lot of working on your knees and stuff like that. It got to him. This dude thought he had a shot. He looked at a family, was friends with them, thought he knew this girl well enough. Hey, let's go to lunch. Took her to lunch. She never came back. She missing for 6 months, y'all. 6 months. This guy knew where she was. Family going crazy. He's standing around him like nothing happened. I don't understand what's inside you that can allow you to even do that. Then you got this girl on your property for 6 months. You broke a barn down. All of a sudden, she's under the rubble. Man, come on. In a barrel? This is my thing. You're going to get caught anyway. He didn't even get rid of the body. Not saying you know what I'm talking about. It just sounds stupid. All of this for a moment of lust. You ended a girl's life. Said she was going to college. She's supposed to be in college right now. Got accepted this year. Supposed to be a freshman. You rob these people of just more than their daughter. You rob them of experiences. And that's the big thing with all this stuff. When kids get killed and stuff like that, people never think about the heartache and the healing that these people will have to go through by themselves. Seriously, this thing can put them in a depression so bad. And we've seen it in movies. We've seen it in life. Somebody loses their child and it tears them apart. The pain. She'll never get married. They'll never see that. Never see her first grandchild. I mean, that stuff is important to people. People put their time, money, love, energy, support, everything into building a productive child to go out on her own in society, and here's some dude take it away because he had lust in his heart. Think about that. That's all this was lust. You 40 years older than her, bro. What you got in common? I would not date. Listen, I don't care how a girl looks. I'm 50 years old. I would not date nobody half my age. That's 25 years. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't want to go back and experience a lot of things that she has to go through. I don't want to experience that again. You guys understand what I'm saying? That's why like a lot of older people don't mess with younger people, because they got to go through things that we've already went through that we don't want to backtrack and go back over. Or if you date somebody that young, it's almost like raising an adult to get to your level where you light years ahead of them. This guy was wrong. He needed to be strung up on his property and set on fire and left there. For real. What he did was messed up, and like nobody really, I mean, these guys that do this stuff, they don't think about the damage that it causes people that smiled in your face and you smiled in their face and probably would have gave you the shirt off your back because they thought you was a respectable human being. Just something to think about. The live stream is tonight, man. Tune in if you want to break from all of this madness in these videos I do. You'll get a good laugh. I invite everybody. If you're new in the chat tonight, announce yourself so I can shout you out. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. May Valerie Tindall rest in peace and her family get some type of closure. But the healing process will never go away. It'll never go away. This will leave a hole in the heart that can't be filled. See you in the next video. Take care.